Tony Pan here at Hell's Harley-Davidson with Hupy and Abraham behind the handlebars. And I'm here with Mike Rinowski, who just recently completed an epic journey. And I want him to talk a little bit about it because it's a pretty unique situation.
Thank you, Tony. Yes, I had a very unique and unexpected opportunity. Millions of people ride for those who can't, our fallen veterans. I had the opportunity to ride for them across the land they saw last. It began with a joyride in January of 2009 out of Hanoi, Vietnam on my Harley-Davidson, the Fat Boy. It turned into a quest that rolled into a journey, 41,000 miles alone across Vietnam. Then I crossed America with my Harley, and my journey ended with a joyride through Canada 4.5 years later. I didn't anticipate any of this. I'm not a combat veteran, I'm not a historian, but I'm like millions of others, and I felt an obligation they would have felt the same, and I had the opportunity to take it.
So you're like a spiritual transcendence or something that connected you with those spirits that are there, or maybe still there in Vietnam?
It was. At first I thought, I got to the southern tip of Vietnam on a joyride and thought, I've got to ride back around Vietnam and honor the veterans on a Harley-Davidson. How cool is that? And I eventually did this, but when I got back, I thought it was over. I'd carried the spirits to the top of Vietnam and out to the Gulf of Tonkin and south again, but I'd missed something, and I didn't know what it was. And I had to find out, so I quit working and kept riding. And back out there without any distractions of responsibilities or commitments, other riders, no job. It was just, I became immersed in this journey, and I bonded with the spirits. I didn't know combat, but I imagined the task and turmoil of a combat soldier like I never had. I bonded with the spirits of my generation in a heightened sense to live vicariously for them. I didn't dwell in sorrow, but I was angry for the joys they didn't get. So I decided I'm going to take this as far as I can, and I started riding with a playful vengeance to enjoy that land. A land they probably would have appreciated under different circumstances. So I rode, and I rode hard, fearlessly and foolishly, having fun for them. Through all the elements that they endured under a time of combat, I enjoyed it under a time of peace, beauty, and welcome. From one end of that country, I was known and welcome. 7 times I was up and down.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, that people were pretty hospitable, and you sustained yourself by getting different types of jobs just to keep going, right?
I worked in the golf business, and I started with what I thought was a good contract, and that fell apart, as did another one, and picked up another job, but the work was kind of getting in the way of my journey. There was something out there, and I had to go out and find out what it was, and of course I didn't know where it was leading me, but I was going to follow it.
And you said you're not a historian, but you did document your trip in this book that you have here, the Across Vietnam to the Wall.
Well, I didn't keep a journal per se with notes every night and all that, because I didn't intend to do all of this. But I did take a lot of pictures. I had my 35 millimeter that I would stop and take pictures, but I also had a little snap shooter that I'd hold up and take as I'd go along, and that brought along a few interesting situations. But that was my documentation, and when I decided to write about it, things were still fresh in my memory, and so I got, after 6,000 hours, I have it very well detailed.
Well, tell us what your website is and how people can purchase your book if they're interested.
My website is the w's.harleytracks.com. That's HARLEYTRACKS. And the book is available from me or through my website. It will become available on Barnes & Noble. We're in the process of that right now.
Okay, well, this is fascinating. I mean, I was looking at the pictures. It's really interesting. I think some of the guys that served there may probably recognize some of those locations that you took photos of. It's a healing process, and hopefully maybe this book will help somewhere for healing. Check out that website and review it, and hopefully buy that book and read it and enjoy that adventure, the adventure that you had taken for a number of years. Tony Pan at Hell's Harley-Davidson with Mike Rinowski, behind the handlebars with Hupy and Abraham.